Welcome back to a new episode of the Mentor and the Mentee Blueprint. My name is Mohammed Bayo. I am the mentee, and I'm here with,
Anthony Itago, the mentor. Happy to be here.
of course, glad to be back with you, Anthony. Have a very special topic that I know would align well with you and your story, as I know much about you, but want to give the audience a chance to know more. To kind of put this in context, starting in 2026, everybody is focused on bettering themselves.
Yes.
And that includes different verticals of your life. And me being in a previous sales role, I was exposed to a high pressure sales environment. And I had a leader that looked out for me and allowed me to use company resources to get a therapy session. During those sessions, I discovered three components that I figured would be great to be effective in the workplace, and that's your physical, your mental, and your emotional health. And sitting here with you today, knowing your story and giving you a chance to explain it to the audience, can you tell me what have you experienced in your life that has involved those components?
Yes. First, those three components are very, very important. I would actually add a fourth one, spiritual.
Okay, I like that.
Yep. So that's health, mental, emotional, and spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
To
Okay.
me, those are the four, what do we want to call them?
Pillars.
Pillars.
Yeah,
Okay. Pillars.
I like that.
Those are the four pillars.
Okay.
I have personally experienced some physical challenges. Um, Most viewers that know me know that I am a kidney transplant recipient. I had a kidney transplant now 27 years ago. It lasted 25 years. And I received my kidney transplant. I'm laughing because every time I tell this story, it brings a chuckle to me. As I received my kidney transplant on my birthday.
Yeah.
My birthday, which is May 5th, known as Cinco de Tuggle.
Woo!
Woohoo! So yes, I received my kidney transplant 27 years ago now on my birthday. It lasted 25 years.
Wow.
So that was the first physical
Mm-hmm.
challenge I had to deal with. And why that whole experience changed my life forever. I will not look at life the same since that whole experience. Me walking in one day to the doctor's office with what I had the flu, being told, actually, both of my kidneys are shut down. I'm dying. No way I should have been able to drive to the doctor's appointment. So you can imagine all the things that kind of went through
Yeah.
me during that period of time. And the only thing I knew what to do, as the doctors and nurses were freaking out and telling me that I need to go on dialysis, and I just asked for 60 seconds for them to give me the room for 60 seconds. And the only thing I knew to do was what I was taught by my grandparents and parents, was get on my knees and talk to God. That's where the spiritual part comes in it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up to God and said, you're not done with me yet, right? We have a lot more to do. And his response, like, absolutely not. We have so much more to do. And I said, I'm ready. So let's take on this journey. And I jumped up, got the nurses and doctors and said, let's go. I immediately got placed on dialysis. I had dialysis for 3 days a week. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday morning. The interesting part about the story, this is a great topic, is that I didn't tell anyone I was
Wow.
on dialysis. So I was running a call center in Kansas City. I was a director at the time, and I decided only to tell. Actually, I didn't tell anyone at first.
Mm.
So other than my parents and a couple of my close family members, not all my family members knew that I was on dialysis. And I did tell a couple of close friends, and that was it. My reason for not telling them and was I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. I didn't want people to be like, "Oh my God, he got this."
Yeah.
I didn't want any excuses. I wanted to. Honestly, I need to stay focused.
Yeah.
I had to mentally talk about mental. I
Right.
had to mentally stay in the game. That's why it was so important for me, and that experience alone, like I said earlier, changed my life.
Wow. That is 27 years later now. Here we are. Right.
Yeah, and there's more to the story,
Right.
and I'll give you the short version. 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, March of 2024, that 25-year kidney actually uh, rejected. So, just for background, I had a deceased donor that donated the kidney to me. The life expectancy of a deceased donor kidney is 10 years, 10 to 15. My kidney lasted almost 25 years, so we beat the odds twice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, God. Unfortunately, though, 2 years ago, March of 2024, that kidney stopped. Therefore, I had to go back on dialysis. I
Mm.
started back on hemodialysis 3 days a week, and I quickly moved to what they call peritoneal dialysis, where I have a catheter in my abdomen, and I connect to a machine, a dialysis machine, at night, and also travel with uh,
Wow.
with the machine to. And that machine actually removed toxins from my body that the kidneys normally would function and
Right.
remove.
Wow, Anthony, that's definitely a story and definitely emphasizes on the topic of today. And I'm curious, through living that journey, how was your life affected and personally, professionally? I know you mentioned you didn't mention it to anybody, but um, did your performance take an impact?
No, actually, my performance didn't because I was focused. I had that conversation with God, and He said He wasn't done with me, and we agreed I have so much more to do. So my goal at the time I was on dialysis the first time was, we're gonna beat this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get this transplant, and when I do, I am going to not look back. I'm gonna look forward,
Yeah.
and that would help me,
Mhm.
and that's kind of helped shape me who
Yeah.
I am today. I am all about, you only have one shot at this thing called life. I was fortunate enough to have a second chance.
Wow.
So that's why, I am anal or focused. I like to call it focus.
Yeah.
Focus on, my achievements and making a difference and giving back. That's
Right.
where all that centered from.
That makes sense. And, just to highlight the importance of kidney health, you mentioned the life expectancy of a deceased donor. What's the life expectancy for a living donor?
Living donor, actually, life expectancy is about 20, 25 years. So a much better chance for living donors, which is great. Uh, there are about 100, let's just say roughly 100,000 people, 90,000 to 100,000 people waiting for a kidney right now
Wow.
on the transplant list. And if we could actually, as a country, solve this problem
Mhm.
if we got enough living donors.
What are some proactive things people can do who are not even aware of this disease that could be?
I mean, the most thing I would tell you is talk to your doctor. Become an advocate for your own health.
Okay.
Ask questions. Uh, get the necessary blood work, checkups. Go to continue to go to your doctor for your routine checkup. Just be intentional
Right.
about your health. That's what I would recommend. I don't want to preach to anyone about do this. I'm just going to tell you, be intentional. Have the conversation with your doctor. Ask questions. If something's going on with your body, ask why. Ask for explanation. And as it relates to your kidney, Ask them how your kidneys performing.
Yeah. That's a pretty sound advice. I feel like, sometimes, we have the health insurance but don't even use it, right?
Right.
Anthony, to kind of like go back to your story, I'm curious because obviously that was impacted you physically, but we talked about the other three components, well, four components included spiritually, but I wonder how did this affect you emotionally? What was your emotional state through this journey and how did you cope?
I mean, honestly, I went through all those stages of what is it called? The stages of emotions
Hmm.
where I was pissed off at first. So, I went through that period. Why me? Why? But I had to quickly move off that stage. Like I try to give myself honestly, I try to give myself 60 seconds to what I call bitch and moan and complain. I'm just not that type of individual.
Yeah,
I focus on what can I go do? How can I solve this? What can I do? What's within my control?
yeah,
That's keeps me centered. Um, and I also learned that, you know, people make time for what's important. So I had to make time for what's important at the time. It was my mental and physical health. So I
okay,
had to do the things that made me
feel good,
not just feel good, but stay in the game.
staying again.
That's the important part for me.
What was some outlets that you used to stay in the game? Did you fall back onto your faith? Did you,
For me, my outlets were definitely my faith, definitely reading the Bible. But the best thing that I could do while I was in dialysis was listen to music.
okay.
Yep. So I listened to lots of music, and I would spend my day listening to hip hop, to religion, back and forth, hip hop, religion, back and
So
forth.
that's why you're a music guy.
Yes, yes, yes. It all
Okay.
centered there. It kind of reminded me. It's my happy place.
Okay.
My happy place is sitting down, listening to music.
That's good.
Music can pump me up. It can also be like, hey,
Chill you out.
yeah, it keeps me going.
Okay. And I kind of want to also touch you mentioned that you didn't mention this to anybody during that time, and I'm curious on the emotional aspect. Uh, did you kind of? I know you wanted to stay focused and not get any type of emotional
I
handicap,
didn't want any pity,
right?
anyone feeling sorry for me. I didn't want anyone to use that as an excuse.
Did you
I
feel
knew
like
I was going to beat it.
okay? I mean,
I
yeah,
mean, I knew I was going to beat it. God just told me. We had the conversation.
that's all you needed, right?
Yeah, I believe in my faith.
Okay.
It's important to me, and I'm not afraid to say that. That's important to me.
Do you feel like during that time the world was had the ability to have a man express his vulnerability openly?
I don't think the world is quite ready yet for a male to express his vulnerabilities. We do it, but I don't think the world is ready. I think we're just forced to do that.
Yeah, I think it's
I mean,
tough.
I think men have learned in order for us
Hmm.
to to live a healthier life,
Yeah,
we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it with each other. We got to open it up. We got to, put that masculinity to the side and just be honest with each other. It's like, man, I'm hurting. I need help. You know, it's okay.
yeah,
For all my men out there, it's okay. Ask for help.
yeah. I think it's important. I definitely appreciate how much light has come to the emphasis of not even mental health, but for men's mental health,
Yes.
right? And it kind of brings me to my next question of what does mental health in the workplace? Why does it matter?
I mean, it's matter a lot. I mean, you want to make sure that people that you're working with are in good headspace.
Yeah, if you're gonna be following their lead, right?
Yeah, more importantly, but if you want to work around people that know that mentally they are good. They're able to function and do the job and be there and perform their roles as teammates, and it just helps create the right environment. That's why it's exciting and encouraging to know that most companies are definitely a lot more proactive than they were 25 years ago
Yeah.
about mental health, physical health,
Hmm.
and just being there. And most companies have resources. You know, I would encourage everyone, you know, go to your company's HR team. I'm sure they can provide you with lots of resources around mental and physical health and emotional support. Those things are available, which is great. So kudos, kudos, kudos to all the organizations
Yeah.
stepping up.
Yeah, definitely. Like I mentioned earlier, that it was a resource from my previous company that allowed me to get into therapy. So it's about leveraging those resources. And
Therapy is important too. Therapy is important. I think everyone should, if you want to participate in therapy, it works.
it works.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear that. What have you seen change in the mental health space in the workplace since COVID in that working from home era? I feel like that really shed the light for employees because, we speak about tribe, we speak about alliances, and people build
I mean, I
friendships.
think COVID taught us how to communicate virtually and how to be there for one another. So we should thank COVID because it forces us to get in touch with our own feelings and how we communicate. And without COVID, we probably would have still been in this vicious cycle
Yeah,
and not figuring it out. COVID forced us. And because we were forced to think out of the box around how we communicate.
yeah, that's an interesting take. What's your belief around? Do you believe work-life balance is an organizational priority?
I think work-life balance, I like to call it work-life integration, is an individual
What do you mean
priority.
by that? Like, what is a
You
work-life
own that.
integration?
You own your life. You own balance in your life. You can't expect the company or companies to balance your work-life balance. The company's not responsible for what you do personally.
Hmm.
So that means you got to own how you balance your lifestyle. Meaning you got to be able to balance your work, your family, and you got to do the things that matters to you to make that work. And I can't sit here and say it. I can honestly say it's different for every individual. Work-life balance, work-life integration. You and I will have this. It's not the same.
Yeah, that's true.
It just depends on what our priorities are. You know, I'm married with a daughter. You're not married, so I mean, it just requires different expectations.
Yeah, that's 100%
But
true.
to me, work life integration means is I've integrated work or integrated work into my life
Okay.
versus, trying to balance the two. No, it's I tied them into one. They're one thing. It's called work life integration. So, meaning I do things like when my daughter was younger, we would sit down and talk about, my wife and I would sit down and we would go through the calendar and decide these are the events that dad needs to attend,
Mhm.
these are the events that he could miss. So I knew, and I was fortunate enough that I could build it in my schedule that I couldn't miss these certain events. To me,
Right.
that's work life integration.
That's a perfect example of work-life integration. I think you said it best. I don't have like a wife and kid to go home to. I think I'll probably use that
Doesn't mean you don't have work life integration or need work life balance.
right because I'll spend that same time in the gym,
Yes.
right? Which kind of leads me into like the physical aspect, the component. What is your definition of a corporate athlete?
To me, corporate athlete is more than just physical. To me, it's mental.
Okay.
No, corporate athlete is you are. Most athletes think it's just. Most athletes will tell you it's not just the physical part;
Mm-hmm.
it's the mental part.
90% mental, 10%
Yes,
physical.
yes. Say that again.
90% mental, 10% physical.
Yes, it's all about your mental. I'm telling you, your mental state of mind,
Right.
your mental ability to handle adversity.
Yeah.
Those things matter. Now, physically, working out, walking, finding what works for you,
Hmm.
that is the key. Some people want to go to yoga, some people go to Pilates, some people like to run, some people like to walk. For me, just given some of my health challenges, I figure out that walking is the best thing for me.
Yeah. Now, good.
I can walk 2, 3 miles and then I can play my music. I can think. I
Yeah.
turn it into my thinking time, which is powerful.
Clears your head too.
Yeah. So that thinking time is the mental part. The physical part is walking.
Okay, that makes
No,
sense.
I mean, I can't talk about corporate athlete without saying it's both mental. Mental is so important where your head is, and to do what we do each and every day, no matter what your role is, what you do each and every day is so important. You get up every day and spend most of your time with people that you work with.
So,
No, think about that for a second. We spend most of our time in the workplace with people that are not our families.
yeah.
Therefore, it's so important that, mentally and physically and emotionally and
And spiritually.
spiritually, for those who are spiritually, we brings all those things have to be intact. And they're all important.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you on that. And I think you really had a good point on the 90% mental, 10% physical, because
Yes.
that mental space kind of goes back to what I was saying. You can experience the burnout, you can be intolerable of the environment. So, how do you prioritize yourself and dedicate yourself to the job?
Um, for me, self is first.
Self is first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You got to bet on you. You got to, you know, betting on me, of course, is my priority for 2026. But you have to, I believe you're the most effective individual
Mhm.
when you're focused, when you are good. When you good,
Yeah, everything
everything else falls in place.
everything else falls in place. Kind
That's
of like
why it's so important. And I'm just trying to give it to people straight from my perspective. You just got to focus on you. You got to be good first. I can't be great for my family
right.
unless I'm great for me.
Mm,
So I got to do the things that make kind of balance me out and
kind of
get me
like
in a
the
good place.
kind of like the oxygen mask theory on the airplane. Put the oxygen mask on yourself before you help someone else.
Kind of.
Mm.
I'm not sure I follow that one. Not sure that was a good analogy.
Listen, I mean,
Well,
you gotta put
okay.
yourself first, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Muhammad. We're going to agree and move on.
Listen, so we talked about the mental, the spiritual, the physical, and the emotional, Anthony. All four very important components to being an effective person, not even in just your corporate and professional life, but as you as a personal individual. And we've spoken on these four components, and sometimes we pick one over the other. But how can we make it all come together? The work, the mental, the emotional,
I
the
think they all work together hand in hand. I don't think you can't do one without the other four. You got to, the spiritual one, that depends on the individual. Some people have their own way. So spiritually, but, the mental and the physical, oh my God, they go hand in hand along with the emotional. Emotionals with the mental state. I think mental is number one.
yeah, I mean you gotta stay
Mental's
sane.
number one. Got to stay sane. Mental's number one, but also having outlets. So here's what I'll do. I've encouraged people have an outlet. Go read a book. Some people like to read books. Some people like to go work out. Some people like to go to the shooting range. Some people like to play golf. Have an outlet. It's okay.
Yeah.
Have a way to kind of, and what I learned on the back end of my career is I used to utilize Fridays as my thinking day.
Mm.
It was my time to think. I would literally block out a couple hours and just call it think time. And that allowed me to just think, allow me to think and allow me to build connections and call people and check up on people at work. And it was it was my intentional way of kind of level setting my mental at work.
Yeah, so that sounds good. Some woosah,
Yeah,
right?
definitely woosah. It was my woosah moment. I was literally sitting in my office and just call people and just think.
Yeah, I love that.
Thinking's important. Very, very important. And carving out time for you. Don't feel bad because you need to carve out some time for you. I would highly, 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 highly encourage you.
I love all that answer, Anthony, and I know we're getting ready to close out here. So, my last question for you is, because I know we're all going to experience it at one point of our life, but what do we do if one of those components falls off and we start spiraling?
This is where this is where you need that tribe. You need people around you that you can go to and just say, hey, I need some help.
Mm,
Can you give some tips? Or I feel this type of way. And if you're at the right tribe, they will guide you back,
yeah,
back to where you need to be. And don't overcomplicate it.
dog.
Oh my God, we take life way too seriously sometimes. And, you know, treat life like a treasure that it is. We're only given one chance.
Yeah,
In some cases, maybe two. I'm fortunate enough to get the chance because I was giving two and I get another one. I guess, I mean, I've been getting a third chance.
wow.
Wow. Look at God. Thank you. Highly favored. However,
Amen.
yeah, definitely amen. But I say that jokingly, but seriously.
Yeah,
Um, don't give up on life. Treat life seriously.
mm,
Just recognize the people that you work with and the people you're around, and you know they could be gone tomorrow.
yeah. I think,
They can be gone tomorrow, and that's real. That's like
yeah,
that's I hate to say it, that's some real shit there because that is true. So hug your loved ones. Be
yeah.
nice to your coworkers. You hear that, people? Be nice to your coworkers. Be a good person.
Yeah, it don't cost nothing.
It doesn't cost that, right? It doesn't cost anything to be a good person. You
Yeah.
know, if I step back and say, what have I learned through all of this? Be a good person, give
Hmm.
back, change people's lives. My purpose is really changing people's lives. I want to make a difference. I want to change the world. I want to. I want to be known based on the impact. I want to be known how I made people feel, how I helped change people's lives positively. That's why I get up each and every day and do what I do.
You do what you do.
Yep. And I'll leave you guys with this. Given, I mentioned earlier, I'm on dialysis, but I do it at home. Um, Being on dialysis every day, some days are better than others. And I would be lying to you saying it was easy because part of this, your physical body going through all these different changes, you got, a catheter in your body, it's real.
Yeah.
The thing that makes me get up each and every day is me forcing myself to be great every day.
Yeah.
Because right now, where I am in my life, good is not good enough. I got to be great. I
Yeah.
got to be great because I don't know when my day may come to an end. I want to make sure I can say, wow, I changed people's lives. I did what I was supposed to do. God, God is proud of me. I did my work while I was here.
I think that's a page that everyone could take from your book, Anthony. Just being the best person you can be every single day and strive for that excellence. I
And
think,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I know a lot of people struggle with, sometimes a lot of people struggle with understanding me.
hmm
I am not that complicated. I am not that complicated. I'm a simple individual. I like to think I'm simple at times. I am all about changing people's lives and making an impact. My life experiences um, taught me how to be a better person. And that's my goal in life.
And that's why you're the mentor, Anthony. So we'll leave it here with our guest. You heard it here first. 4 components: emotional, spiritual, mental, physical, and of course, be a good person, but spend time with your loved ones and make time for yourself. Anthony, I thank you for this time.
No, thank you. And remember, a setback is a setup for a comeback.
Yeah,
And when you come back better and better and better than ever. You heard that from Anthony E. Tuggle. Have a great day. Thank you, Bayo.
of course.
All right.